Hi everyone, I'm Jay, and welcome back to Maple Money Mindset. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is one of the most recommended finance books of all time. Millions of people have read it, felt inspired, and completely changed how they think about money. And honestly, that inspiration is real. The book deserves credit for that, but here's the problem. If you follow Rich Dad, Poor Dad to literally in 2026, especially in Canada, it can actually push you toward the wrong strategy, because that book was written in 1997, almost 30 years ago, and the world it was written for is not the world we live in today. So in this video, 3 things. What the book still gets right, where it falls short in 2026, and which modern books actually make more sense for Canadians building wealth right now. Let's get into it. So, what did Rich Dad, Poor Dad actually get right? The mindset shift. It teaches you to stop thinking like an employee forever. Start thinking about assets. Start thinking about ownership. Start making money work for you, instead of spending your whole life working for money. That message still matters. And for many people, that mental shift is the very first step toward building real wealth. The book opens the door, and for that, it still deserves respect. But once you move past the mindset, the strategy starts to show its age. The biggest issue is real estate. A huge part of Kiyosaki's philosophy is built around buying property, collecting rent, and building passive income through real estate. And in the world he describes, that strategy made sense. Housing was cheaper, the barrier to entry was lower, the math was more forgiving. But in Canada, in 2026, that reality looks very different. In cities like Toronto and Vancouver, home prices are far beyond what most average earners can comfortably afford. Even in smaller cities, housing is nowhere near as accessible as it used to be. And even after buying, mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and rising interest rates can turn that so-called passive income into something very active and very stressful. The dream is still possible, but the book makes it sound far easier, safer, and more accessible than it really is in today's market. The second major weakness, the book barely respects index fund investing, and this is a huge miss. Today, someone can buy a simple, all-in-one ETF like XEQT, invest consistently inside a TFSA, stay diversified, and build real wealth quietly over time. No tenants, no repairs, no stress. Most people do not need a complicated empire. What most people actually need is a strategy they can understand, stick to, and repeat for years. And boring works, consistency works, patience works. It may not sound exciting, but over time, that simple approach has helped millions of ordinary investors build genuine wealth. And that's where Rich Dad, Poor Dad feels most outdated. Amazing for inspiration, but inspiration without a modern strategy can quietly lead you in the wrong direction. So what should you read alongside it? First, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Probably the best modern finance book available right now. It explains that success with money is not about being a genius. It's about controlling your emotions, staying consistent, and avoiding self-destructive decisions. The perfect next step after Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Second, Millionaire Teacher by Andrew Hallam. And this one stands out for Canadian viewers specifically. Andrew Hallam became a millionaire on a teacher's salary through disciplined long-term investing. Not real estate speculation. Practical, simple, realistic for normal people living real lives in Canada. Third, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Very practical. Automating your savings, spending intentionally, cutting what you don't care about, and spending confidently on what you truly value. Built for a world full of distractions, subscriptions, and lifestyle pressure, which is exactly the world we live in. So here's the bottom line. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad for the mindset, but upgrade your strategy for the world you actually live in. Because the goal is not to follow one famous book blindly, the goal is to think critically, keep learning, and make smarter decisions with money than you did yesterday. And honestly, that may be the real lesson. Not that one rich dad had all the answers, but that your financial future gets better the moment you stop copying old advice blindly and start building a strategy that actually fits your life today. If this gave you a new perspective on the money advice you've been following, you're already one step ahead. Thanks for watching Maple Money Mindset. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more simple and practical content just like this.